Today on our 2016 Mini Countryman, you're going to be taking a look at, I'm going to show you how to install the Roadmaster 4-Diode Universal Wiring Kit for towed vehicles. Part number RM-152-98146-7. This is what our diode kit looks like when it's installed. This is going to be one of 5 main components in a flat tow setup. The other 4 are going to be your braking system, your base plate, your tow bar, and your safety cables. Now what the diode kit is going to do for you, it's going to allow you to transfer your lighting signals from your RV into your car or into your towed vehicle while it's being flat towed. It is a fairly straightforward installation. You're going to have about 30 foot of wire. It's going to come in your kit along with your 6-pole plug and then your 4 diodes. You're going to run that wire from the front of the vehicle to the back, and it's going to split off and go to each tail light. Now with this particular installation, you will need to purchase resistors. With those resistors, it does not change how easy or hard it is to install this product. It is still very easy. Let me show you how easy it is to get installed. First thing we're going to want to do, if you don't already have the fascia off, we're going to remove the grill. There's going to be 4 bolts across the top. You're either going to have bolts, or in our case, they're star bolts. We're going to use a T25 star bit. Go ahead and remove those 4 bolts. And then we're just going to pull out. And our grill should slide right off. This should give us plenty of room to get our wiring down to the front of the vehicle. Now I already have my wiring ran. You're going to have about 30 foot of wire. You're going to need to run from the front of the vehicle to the back of the vehicle. So what I did, as you can see right here, this is my wiring that I ran. What I did is I ran it right out here behind my grill or my front fascia. I've actually have it in this wire loom. And you want to bring a little bit up in this area, just kind of loop it once, because when you put your braking system in, you're going to want to tie into it, or you're going to have to tie into the wiring. And then I took my wire, I dropped it down underneath the vehicle, and we ran to the back. Let me show you how I did that. So you can see right up here how I dropped my wire down, and you can use airline tube if you have some, wire coat hanger, anything that has a little bit of stiffness to it to push or to feed it down or pull it down or up, however you do it. I've got mine coming down. I followed this existing hard line all the way down. I went underneath this panel right here to the back. Because these parts move, I went over the top, and you can see I zip tied right here to this hard line. I want to stay away from my muffler. I went around this bracket, around, and if you look up right here, I actually zip tied it to the inside of the rear fascia. So it stays up away from my muffler, and I routed it over to my passenger side. So you can see here I found some existing hardline, just followed it to the back of the vehicle, went underneath this panel. So right here I went up above my axle to keep it away from my exhaust. Came across over to my passenger side. Here we have another hard line. It's going to our brakes. We're going to right here. There's actually a grommet right here that goes straight up to the tail lights. You pop that grommet out or a hole in it, you can feed all of your wires up to the back of the tail light. We already have our tail light out because it's hard to see inside of there for us to show you how to do it exactly. But I'm going to show you as best I can like this. You're going to have little ends like this on. They're going to go right on like that. And then they just screw down on. What it does, it actually clamps onto this metal edge. So inside the car, behind this panel right here, you'll have 4 of them. You'll have 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. Loosen those and you should be able to pop your light out. Now there's a large access hole inside the car that we can get to the wiring to tie into it. However, there's no real good way to get your diode wiring inside the car without coming through the grommet. We're only going to need to do this on one side. We're going to take our wiring, then we're going to split our wires. Now I'm going to split them back to here. Like this. Your white wire is going to be your ground. Your yellow wire we're going to end up running over to the driver's side. We're going to take one diode. You're going to see it's going to have an in and an out. We're going to take one of the blue ones from either side. It doesn't matter. They fit on both sides. We need to strip back our green wire. We're going to add on that blue connector. We're going to take our brown wire. We're going to cut it the same. Once you strip back your brown wire, you're going to take the piece that you cut off. We're going to strip back one end. I'm going to tie these two together. You want to add on a butt connector. These butt connectors do not come in your kit, but you can find them on our website using part number DW05714. From here, we're actually going to be adding a resistor. The reason we need a resistor is because our wiring system is basically a one-wire system that runs with the 3 bulbs. If we don't use a resistor, when we add our diodes in, when the RV applies the brakes when our car is being towed, the brake light is going to be the same color as the turn signal. We don't want that. We want the turn signal to be brighter and our brake light to be just a little bit dimmer. So that's what the resistor is. To add the right resistor, you're going to need a 10 watt 5 ohm resistor. So we're going to take this, we're going to add it right into our butt connector. I'm going to go ahead and fold this over because it's a little thicker there. Get it in there. We're going to crimp that down. And then we're going to take this connector, our other blue connector, and we're going to add it onto the other end. Again, I'm going to fold this over and make sure I have a good connection on it. Crimp it down. Then you're going to have your in and your out. In. The other one in like that. Now we're going to have some double-sided tape here. We're going to take off the side there, and I'm going to actually stick it right here to this wall. Now, because the piece of wire on that resistor is so thin, I'm going to go ahead and stick it on there now. That way we're not moving it around. We don't take a chance of breaking it off. And then from our other side, I'm going to take a piece of my green wire. Give yourself plenty to work with. We're going to strip back both sides like that. The blue one that's coming off of here, off the top here, or off of the out, we're going to add on the blue connector to one side, like that. And we're going to have another diode. We're going to take the ends off, and we're going to add one onto the other ends. This is going to go from in on this side to the out on the top of this one. And then what we need to do is determine which wire we need to tap into. Well, we've determined that we could either use this yellow wire with the green stripe or this yellow wire with the brown stripe. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to use this one because it goes to the top bulb on the light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it right here. What I suggest not doing is this gray wire right here with this pink stripe. This actually goes to the blinker, but the blinker on the car is about that big around, and you don't want all 3 signals to be in that one little spot. So we're going to strip back both ends of these. We're going to add on our last 2 connectors. Just like that. My white wire, I'm going to find a place that I want to put it. I want to put it on the metal somewhere. I got some wire running right here, and I'm going to ground it about there. Cut it down, strip it back, add the ring terminal that comes in your kit. This. You're going to take the self-tapping screw that comes in your kit and mount it wherever you can find a spot. I'm actually going to go straight down right there. Just like that. So now we need to take our brown wire and our yellow wire and get it over to our driver's side. Without having to remove the tail light, go underneath the car, back up through the grommet. The whole body is hollow. It runs right across here, right up to behind the tail light. So what I've done is I've taken some airline tube, and if you don't have airline tube, anything stiffness, again, you have wire coat hanger that you used at the front of the vehicle to get the wire to the bottom or to the top. You can use that. You just want to make sure it's long enough to go from one side to the other. So once you feed it across, you can reach down and grab it and pull it up. So I'm going to take the ends and I'm just going to tape them right onto it. And you can see where my airline tube has come up. I'm just going to pull it. And we have our wires from the back of our tail light. So now I'm going to cut my brown wire. And we're just going to do the same thing we did on the other side. Basically, our brown wire is going to be the jumper from the tail light on the passenger side to the tail light on the driver's side. Now, it doesn't matter how you hook these up. If you wanted to start on the driver's side and go over to the passenger side, I chose to go to the passenger side because we had already removed the tail light. So you can see here how I have it set up. Remember, on the passenger side, I actually had the resistor on the other side. Here I have it on this side, which is my brown wire. My yellow wire, which is for my left turn signal, is coming in the inside on the other side of my diode. I added an extension, went to the inside on this diode, and now we'll take the wire from our actual tail light wiring, our factory wiring, and it's going to go on here just like we did the other one. Now, I determined through testing that this yellow wire with the green is going to be the same wire or the same bulb as the one on the other side. You want to make sure that you test to get the same bulb so you have the function working in the same place. So we're going to be tapping into the yellow wire with the green. Now you can see I've added my two wires. Now I can plug this back into my tail light. Now we can reinstall our tail light. Now you're going to take your 6-pole, we're going to pull off the rubber boot, we're going to take the boot, slide it over our wires. Now, these are the wires for our diode kit. We're actually going to have an extra wire. This is going to a battery charge line. If your vehicle, when it's being flat towed, has to have the key in the on position, which means the accessories are going to be on, you're going to want one of these. You're going to want a battery charge line. This actually will charge the battery while your car is being towed through your RV. So now we're going to take our 6-pole. The back of it is actually marked. You have LT for left turn, RT for right turn, GD for ground, TM is going to be running lights. Now our red wire, we're going to actually hook in the center. We're going to put in our right turn, which is our passenger, and our green wire. We're going to put it in the RT, our left turn, or driver's side. It's going to be our yellow wire. Our white is our ground. I'm going to go ahead and hook up my red into the center, which is A for auxiliary. And my brown is going to go to TM, or my running lines. So before I put my boot on, I'm going to take some dielectric grease, and I'm just going to cover my connection. It's going to help keep them from corroding. Slide the boot on, take some electrical tape, it's going to go all the way down over top of my wires. Now we can put our plug back in place. Now we'll use an alternate power source to test out our wiring. This is going to simulate being hooked up to the RV. Tail lights, left turn, brake lights, right turn. And that'll do it for a look at an installation on the Roadmaster 4-Diode Universal Wiring Kit for towed vehicles, part number RM-152-98146-7 on our 2016 Mini Countryman.